This fight. I remember the very first time that I did this fight, and much to my horror, I was under the impression that those two here were actually in an incestual relationship, because the story is that those two are dating, and the girl's father is the owner of the restaurant, and the guy's father is the chef. And when you beat the two of them, they say, "Oh no, I lost at Papa's restaurant." So the first time I did this fight, I was like, huh? They're dating and they're both at Papa's restaurant? So you put two and two together and you say, "Oh my god, incest!" Well, it didn't turn out to be that way because they don't have the same Papa. One's the owner, one's the chef. And yeah, so I really freaked out for a moment there. I mean, after how hard they smacked the game with the censorship hammer, I was appalled that, they might have forgotten this, but fortunately, we're not talking about incest here, thank God, because they wouldn't have heard the end of it. Well, though, from what I do understand, incest is less frowned upon in Japan than it is in America. For example, relationships between cousins are okay, apparently. They're not nearly as frowned upon as in North America. Though, I can be wrong on that. It's just what I've read about it, but that's just, your random cultural segment of the day, I guess. So that's what I was talking about. Never thought I'd lose at Papa's restaurant. How could I lose at dear Papa's restaurant? So who could blame me for thinking incest was involved in this? Well, so now that this fight is done, there's only one left, which we're going to keep for the next time we're going to come here. And I'll see you in a few minutes over at the Safari Zone. Okay, here we go. Let's get started on one of the most annoying places in the entire game, the Great Marsh. It plays basically just like any other Safari Zone, except maybe that for Hard Gold and Soul Silver, because this one's completely different. But here, it's basically the same thing as in Red, Blue, Yellow, and Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, except that you have access to quick trams, as they call them, for easy transportation between the different areas. And there are a few items scattered all over the place, which we're going to try to get them all in one go, though I doubt I'm going to be able to do it, because there's one that's really far out of the way. So yeah, I recommend you take the Great Marsh quick trams. We got our first item here, which is a Great Ball. Now we're going to head back the way we came, because there are two more items in Area 6. We just visited Area 5, and this NPC that was hidden by a tree here has a shard, which we're going to take. It's a green shard. I don't know what our count is at right now. I don't know if it's going to be enough to give Ice Punch to Lucario even without doing that thing with the star pieces on Iron Island, but we're gonna see when we get there. So here's why this place is so annoying. You get stuck in the mud and you gotta wriggle your way out, and while you're doing that, you can get ambushed by wild Pokemon. Wonderful. So, I'm gonna throw a Safari Ball since, hey, those come for basically free for $500, but yeah, I'm aware I just said that. And, yep, one ball, that was enough. Wooper isn't particularly hard to catch. But yeah, what I meant to say was that, for $500, I get 30 balls. I might as well use them, even on stuff that I don't really need, because the only Pokemon that I actually need here is Tropius, which is located all the way to the back of the Safari Zone. It's found only in the morning and the day, and there's a 20% chance of getting a Tropius. And as you could notice, there are two deaths to the mud. The lighter colored mud doesn't prevent you from moving too much, but it's the darker one that really has you sink in, and you gotta wriggle your way out of it. So, okay, I guess we're gonna head back to... Get out! Get out! Oh, and there we go. See why people hate this thing so much? Oh, coffee! Okay, sorry. I apologize for the random retelling of Pokemon Coliseum reference there. It's just that, well, this fanfic has corrupted my brain so much that, you know, whenever I see a Yanma, I think of coffee, and whenever I see a Quagsire, I think of peanuts, and, you know, come on, stay in the ball. I was about to say there's coffee in the next ball, but things don't really work that way. So, yeah, we're gonna head to Area 1 of the Great Marsh now, because that's where Tropius is. There are 2 items that you can get in Area 1 as well. We're gonna go for these first, before going for Tropius. And, of course, the reason why I need a Tropius, in case you haven't caught my Emerald LP, is because it's simply one of the best HM slaves out there. So we got a Pokeball here, and now we're gonna head back up for... Come on. Oh, I hate this place! I hate this place so much! Oh, okay, sorry. And this happens the day after I talk about the Water Temple in Ocarina of Time. Just wonderful. So, yeah, now that I've got the 2 items... Peanuts! Sorry, I just needed to do that. I'm gonna try and catch it, and if it doesn't work, well, I am just going to, cut out the search for Tropius, since, its encounter rate is like 20%, so I'm gonna, after I try to catch this Quagsire, will I succeed? Yes! But yeah, I'm not gonna try and spend balls on anything else than Tropius, because it would suck if I ran out of balls and suddenly, BAM! Tropius! Well, if I only had 1 or 2 balls left, and I wasted both on Tropius and they failed, but that's something else. So, I'll see you when I find a Tropius. I'll be back in just a moment. Bada bing, bada boom! Here's a Tropius! So, let's try and catch it. Safari balls, which, remember, have the same effectiveness as Great Balls, and it was just trolling me! Okay, at least it's not running away. Let's try this one more time. Come on. 1, 2, 3. Yes! Alright, 2 balls! Not bad, because I don't know Tropius' catch rate, really, but I can't imagine it being too high. No, it's not Tropius, it's the Aero Slowflake Imperial! Nah, but since it doesn't fit in the nickname, I'm gonna have to keep it as Tropius. So, now that we got the Tropius, I'm gonna try and go for the rest of the items in the Safari Zone, and there's one that's over in Area 2. I'm gonna take this path that goes all the way around the back of the rails, and yeah, for those of you who weren't around for the Crystal LP, and I was referencing that fanfic earlier, it was a fanfic that I actually plugged back when I did Crystal, but I had something like a 10th of my current subscriber count, so basically what this means is that many among you don't even know I ever mentioned that fanfiction. And as I mentioned all the way back then, I tend to hate fanfiction. It makes me nauseous because most of it is just so poorly written. But this one is actually peanuts! Okay, I'll stop yelling peanuts every time I see a Quagsire. But yeah, that one is actually very well written and really funny too. It puts a really light spin on what's actually a fairly dark game, even though there are some dark elements added in the fanfic as well, because it explores just how shadow Pokemon are made. But yeah, if you want to read it, I'm going to put the movie, or rather the link to the fanfiction in the movie description. Oh, well, Tangela, let's try to catch it. But yeah, there's going to be a link in the movie description for the fanfic in case you ever want to read it, and I strongly recommend that you do. Yeah, didn't work. So, well, fled right away. This is a dead end. Get out! Get out of the... Oh, god damn, I hate this place so much! And the thing... No, I said I'd stop. So, yeah, my OCD nature compels me to get all the items in this place. The things I do for you guys. Okay, so let's try catching that Tangela again. Hopefully it's not going to flee like last time. and just for information purposes, out of all the non-legendary, non-starter Pokemon from generations 1 through 4, there were only 2 that were missing in Diamond and Pearl, and those were Tangela and Tropius. Odd that they should both make an appearance in the Safari Zone, just to make us suffer a little more. But yeah, I always thought it was weird. I don't know if it's because they forgot about them, or because they actually intended to make them Platinum exclusives from the start, but whatever. I really found it weird that they'd evolve Tangela and then they would have it not even be in the game, but oh well. Let's try Safari Balls again. Please catch it this time. No, Tangela just refuses to stay in. And, you know, one thing I liked about the Safari Zone in Red, Blue, and Yellow is how there was so much variety in what you could catch. You had really rare encounters, like not only Chansey, but you had stuff like Tauros and Kangaskhan and stuff like that, and you really wanted to get those. Here, there's not much to really shoot for other than stuff like, you know, the rare Pokemon that requires binoculars, such as, for example, Krogunk or Scoropie, but other than that, there's, Tangela, Tropius, because otherwise it's just Bibarel, Wooper, Quagsire, Bibarel, Quagsire, Bibarel, Bibarel. Seriously, whoever thought it was a good idea to make a Bibarel the most common Pokemon in a place that's all about rares should definitely be sacked. No, wait, it's Gonad, and they just can't get rid of Gonad that easily. But yeah, for those of you who were wondering, yes, I have the map of the Safari Zone right here. It's different from the Diamond and Pearl map, as I noticed when I did my research on the place. And, okay, just to point out that, oh yeah, it's a Bibarel, but I'm gonna try and catch it anyway, even though I already have one. The reason for that is because I'm thinking my Safari run is going to end soon, and I want to catch 5 Pokemon in this run so that I can get the matchup checker Pokechap. And I already caught 3, so I need 2 more, and I got plenty of balls left, and here we go. Bibarel was caught, and it's a level 27 one. So what I'm going to do, I know you people are going to hate me a lot for it, but I'm going to replace my current Bibarel with this one, just in case it actually needs to fight for whatever reason. It's a lot better to have a level 27 Bibarel around than a level 15 one, so here we go. I'm going to try and catch another one. 1, 2, 3... Alright, matchup checker, here we come! But yeah, of course I'm expecting a lot of you to oppose that move, but hey, there's nothing stopping you from considering this is actually sort of the same Bibarel. You could, let's just say it got a courage transplant from the other Bibarel, okay? So everyone's gonna be happy. Now there's a Pokeball here, but you see that ledge that was right up from Pokeball's location? There's an item up there, and it requires a gargantuan detour, so that was the item I was referring to when I said I didn't expect to get them all in this run. Nonetheless, I'm going to try and have a go at it, since I think it's the last item that needs to be obtained in this place. So we're gonna go for it, and you know, I'm probably gonna run out of steps, but it doesn't really matter because I can just try again. It's not like I'm cash trapped at the moment or anything like that.